And hello, welcome to the latest edition of Steve's Sporty Balls. We're on a little late because I was doing another stream, and it was the F It show with Piper, Wise Guys, and Memes. And I gotta tell you, Memes is the coolest dude I've ever met. Then again, everyone I meet is a cool dude, but Memes, I mean, my. Mm. The boy is talented as Hades. I will tell you that. He is good. He's good. Good guy. So I say to the welcome neighbor. How you doing? And one other thing. I'm going to, ooh, my cat just jumped in. Work.
Bell tire, bell tire, bell tire, bell tire, bell tire, bell tire.
Felt like doing that. Anyway, we got a lot to do and a very short time to do it. So instead of me talking and taking up too much of the time, let's get you the scores, the headlines, and anything else that's happened in the weird world of sports. As soon as the teleprompter is burped. And the teleprompter is not burped. There we go. So let us get to that fun thing that we like to call, no, not Brian Austin Green colitis. No. No. There we go. Hey, let's get on with it.
I'm not sure.
You better be sure. There we go. Okay, let us begin with the fun, thrills, and excitement that is Major League Baseball. And we got one game that is still going on as we speak that may just end as soon as I speak. Seattle Mariners lead the Texas Rangers 4-0. If that game ends, we will bring you the final score. Speaking of final scores, we got some. Let's go to it, shall we? Let's go to the hop. All right. Milwaukee Brewers beat the Pittsburgh Pirates 4-2, 4-8-0 for the Brews, 2-5-0 for the Pirates. Woodruff, the winner for the Brews. He's 2-1. Keller, once again, oh, man. I don't know what's wrong with the Pirates pitching, but, man, when 0-3 right now. And Hader gets his sixth save for the Brews. Cleveland Guardians mollywopped. 11-0 for the Guards. 1-5-0 for the White Sox. Bieber, not Justin, but another Bieber got his first win for the Guardians. Meanwhile, Kuchel got his first loss for the White Sox. He's 1-1. And 1-1. There we go. Los Angeles Dodgers beat the Atlanta Braves 5-1, 5-8-0 for the Dodgers, 1-3-0 for the Braves. Gonsolin got the win for the Dodgers, his first. He's 1-0. Morton got the loss for the Braves, 1-2. Phillies over the Rockies, 9-6, 9-12-0 for the Phils, 6-12-0 for the Rockies. Hand got the big win for the Phils. He's 1-0, and Chacin gets the loss for the Rocks. He's 2-1, and Niebel gets his second save. So we're ready for more. We sure as heck are. San Diego Padres blanked the Cincinnati Reds 6-0, 6-6-0 for the Pods, 0-5-0 for the Reds. Gore! That's right. You got to say it 3 times. Gore. Got his first win for the Padres. He's 1-0. Gutierrez suffers his third loss for the Reds. Okay. By the way, okay, thank you guys. That was game number 1 for the White Sox and Guardians. Game number 2, Guardians swept the doubleheader. Guardians beat the White Sox 2-1, 2-6-0 for the Guards, 1-3-1 for the White Sox. Goes gets the big win for the Guards. He's 1-0. Lambert gets the... Oh, man, what has gone wrong? Lambert 0-2, and Klaas gets his first save for the Guardians. Orioles blanked the Athletics 1-0, 1-5-0 for the Orioles, 0-7-1 for the Athletics. Lyles gets his first win for the Orioles. He's 1-1. Jeffries gets his, second, gets credited for the loss. He's 1-2. And Lopez gets his second save. All right. Tampa Bay Rays defeat the Chicago Cubs 8-2, 8-9-1 for Rays, 2-4-3 for the Cubs. Beeks gets the win for Rays, his first. Stroman gets his second loss. Los Angeles, might as well say it. The Los Angeles Angels blanked the Houston Astros 6-0, 6-6-0 for the Angels, 0-1-1 for the Astros. Ohtani gets the win for the Angels. He's 1-2. Odorizzi gets the second loss in a row for the Astros. New York Yankees decimate the Detroit Tigers 5-3, 5-6-0 for the Yanks, 3-11-1 for Los Tigres. Green goes 1-1 with the win. Hutchinson goes 0-1 for the Tigers, and Chapman gets his third save for the Yanks. Cardinals beat the Marlins 2-0, 2-5-1 for the Cards, 0-5-1 for the Marlins. Cabrera gets his first win for the Cards. He's 1-0. Bender suffers his second loss. He's 0-2, and Gallegos gets his third save. The Arizona Diamondbacks took care of the Washington Nationals 11-2, 11-10-0 for the Diamondbacks, 2-9-2 for the Nationals. Kelly gets the win for Arizona. He's 1-0, and Fetty gets the loss for the Nationals. He's 1-1. Giants overtake the Mets 5-2, 5-8-0 for the Giants, 2-9-0 for the Mets. Rodon gets his second win for the Giants. He's 2-0. Bassett gets the loss for the Mets. He's 2-1, and McGee gets his second save for the Giants. Blue Jays over the Red Sox 6-1, 6-9-0 for the Jays, 1-10-0 for the Red Sox. Berrios gets the win for the Jays. He's 1-0, and Pivetta gets his third loss in a row for the Red Sox. Finally, Kansas City Royals beat the Minnesota Twins 2-0, 2-6-0 for the Royals, 0-5-0 for the Twins. Lynch gets his first win after suffering his first loss of the season, so he's 1-1. Paddock has yet to win. He is 0-2, and Barlow gets his first save. There you go. Happy landings on a chocolate star. Let's now go to minor league baseball. That's right, folks. We're talking MILB. So let's get to the scoreboard and give you all the scores from that. We're going to try to end this as good as we can. But here we go. We got one game in AAA that is still going on. It's Vegas. It's Vegas, baby. Las Vegas over El Paso, 9-4. Let's go for some final scores. Louisville over Iowa, 3-2, 3-8-1 for Louisville, 2-10-0 for Iowa. Final score in 9 innings. Omaha defeated Memphis 9-6, 9-13-1 for Omaha, 6-11-0 for Memphis. Very nice. So this was probably one of the double dips. Jacksonville over Gwinnett 9-1, 9-9-1 for Jacksonville, 1-2-1 for Gwinnett. Buffalo over Scranton Wilkes-Barre 2-1, 2-4-0 for Buffalo, 1-2-1 for Scranton. In the second game that went 8 innings, Buffalo defeated Scranton Wilkes-Barre 6-5, 6-10-0 for Buffalo, 5-7-2 for Scranton. All right, let's keep going. Round Rock defeated, decimated, and disheveled Albuquerque 14-1, 14-16-0 for Round Rock, 1-3-1 for Albuquerque. Indianapolis over Columbus 5-3, 5-7-1 for Indianapolis, 3-6-1 for Columbus. Ooh. Oklahoma City over Sacramento 9-8, 9-7-2 for Oklahoma City, 8-15-1 for Sacramento. Syracuse over Worcester in the first game of a double dip, 1-0. Syracuse. In fact, Syracuse swept the double dip. First game, 1-0, 1-4-0 for Syracuse, 0-2-1 for Worcester. And in game 2, the nightcap, Syracuse defeated Worcester 4-2, 4-6-2 for Syracuse, 2-4-1 for Worcester. Norfolk over Durham, 3-0, 3-7-1 for Norfolk, 0-2-3 for Durham. St. Paul over Toledo, 4-3, 4-6-2 for St. Paul, 3-4-2 for Toledo. Lehigh Valley over Rochester, 12-4, 12-13-1 for Lehigh Valley, 4-11-0 for Rochester. Nashville over Charlotte, 8-1, 8-12-0 for Nashville, 1-4-0 for Charlotte. Tacoma over Sugar Land, 4-2, 4-6-0 for Tacoma, 2-8-0 for Sugar Land. And Reno defeated Salt Lake 7-5, 7-10-1 for Reno, 5-11-0 for Salt Lake. Okay, from the AAA, we go now to the double dip, the double alpha, where everything is final. So let's go to it. Chattanooga over Mississippi, 4-3, 4-7-0 for Chattanooga, 3-3-0 for Mississippi. Erie over Richmond. Erie over Richmond, 6-2, 6-7-0 for Erie, 2-3-0 for Richmond. Wichita over Midland in 10 innings, 9-8, 9-12-0 for Wichita, 8-7-1 for Midland. Binghamton over Portland, 6-1, 6-8-0 Binghamton, 1-6-1 Portland. In 10 innings, New Hampshire beat Altoona 4-3, 4-7-0 for New Hampshire, 3-11-1 for Altoona. Bowie over Akron, 5-zip, 5-7-0 for Bowie, 0-1-1 for Akron. In 12 innings, Harrisburg beat Reading 9-6, 9-7-1 for Harrisburg, 6-9-1 for Reading. Tennessee over Rocket City, 10-7, 10-12-0 for Tennessee, 7-7-0 for Rocket City. Somerset over Hartford, 5-4, 5-9-1 for Somerset, 4-10-0 for Hartford. Tulsa over Springfield, 7-5, 7-13-0 for Tulsa, 5-9-1 for Springfield. Northwest Arkansas over Frisco, 7-2, 7-10-1 for Northwest Arkansas, 2-4-0 for Frisco. Corpus Christi over Arkansas, 2-0, 2-7-0 for Corpus Christi, 0-1-0 for Arkansas. Pensacola over Montgomery, 6-4, 6-6-2 for Pensacola, 4-5-1 for Montgomery. Amarillo over San Antonio, 7-4, 7-12-0 for Amarillo, 4-7-2 for San Antone. Birmingham over Biloxi, 6-5, 6-15-0 for Birmingham, 5-9-2 for Biloxi. And there you go. There went the double A. Let's go now to the high A, which of course includes the Lansing Lugnuts. So here we go. Rome over Bowling Green, 8-5, 8-12-0 for Rome, 5-7-1 for Bowling Green. Wisconsin over Quad Cities, 10-9, 10-14-2 for Wisconsin, 9-12-1 for Quad Cities. Fort Wayne beat the Lansing Lugnuts 9-7, 9-11-0 for Fort Wayne, 7-15-4 for Lansing. Lake County over Great Lakes, 7-0, 7-10-0 for Lake County, 0-5-2 for Great Lakes. Aberdeen over Greensboro, 5-4, 5-6-0 for Aberdeen, 4-5-3 for Greensboro. Wilmington over Hickory, 3-0, 3-4-0 for Wilmington, 0-2-3 for Hickory. Asheville over Jersey Shore, 3-2, 3-7-2 for Asheville, 2-1-2 for Jersey Shore. South Bend over Beloit, 7-5, 7-10-2 for South Bend, 5-10-1 for Beloit. Dayton over West Michigan, 7-3, 7-8-2 for Dayton, 3-9-0 for West Michigan. Brooklyn over Hudson Valley, 4-3, 4-5-0 for Brooklyn, 3-6-2 for Hudson Valley. Winston-Salem over Greenville, 9-4, 9-21-0 for Winston-Salem. Greenville, 4-6-0. Okay. This one has got to have a score. And we're going to look for that score. All right. Uh-huh. Okay, thank you. Okay. See if we cleared up that situation. Boom. Okay, that is not the right scoreboard. That is certainly not the right scoreboard. All right, there we go. Now, disperse tipo. All right, I think we got things going right here. Tri-City over. Really? Really? It's going to be like that, huh? Okay, we got a little problem here with one of our score bots. So, Hillsborough lost. Spokane beat Hillsborough by a score of 2-0, 2-9-0 for Spokane, 0-6-1 for Hillsborough. In the second game, Spokane beat Hillsborough 2-0, 2-9-0 for Spokane, 0-6-1 for Hillsborough. And I think I just repeated that scoreboard. Okay, so there you go. Cedar Rapids, Peoria rained out. It'll be made up on the 21st. And Eugene and Vancouver were rained out. That'll be made up on the 22nd. So we go to our final and last little hurrah. Single A, and there's only one game still going on right now. It's in the bottom of the ninth with 2 outs. Rancho Cucamonga about to beat Modesto. Score 4-0. Carolina over Lynchburg, 2-1, 2-6-2 Carolina, 1-4-1 Lynchburg. Fredericksburg over Kannapolis, 13-2, 13-10-0 Fredericksburg, 2-5-1 Kannapolis. Jupiter over St. Lucie, 2-0, 2-0. 2-4-1 Jupiter, 0-7-0 for St. Lucie. Lakeland over Palm Beach, 9-0, 9-8-1 for Lakeland, 0-5-3 for Palm Beach. Fort Myers over Dunedin, 4-3, 4-9-4 for Fort Myers, 3-3-2 for Dunedin. Clearwater over Tampa, 3-1, 3-7-2 for Clearwater, 1-7-1 for Tampa. Salem over Charleston, 7-1, 7-8-0 for Salem, 1-9-1 for Charleston. Down East over Columbia, 7-0, 7-9-1 for Down East, 0-4-5 for Columbia. Myrtle Beach over Delmarva, 17-3, 17-15-0 for Myrtle Beach, 3-5-3 for Delmarva. Fayetteville over Augusta, 3-1, 3-6-0 for Fayetteville, 1-2-1 for Augusta. Hello, Dandelion. How are you, sweetheart? You're just in time. We're doing hockey after this. Daytona over Bradenton, 8-3, 8-8-2 for Daytona, 3-7-0 for Bradenton. San Jose over Visalia, Great Onions, lousy baseball team, 1-0 is the final score. San Jose, 1-6-1, Visalia, 0-1-1. Lake Elsinore over Fresno, 8-6, 8-9-1 for Lake Elsinore, 6-12-1 for Fresno. And the Inland Empire over Stockton, 3-2, 3-12-2 for the Inland. 2-3-0 for Stockton. And ladies and gentlemen, we go from one extreme to the other. Let's kick it to our hockey game. Yes, friends, we do hockey like we do most everything with mild respect. So there we go. We hit the hockey and light schedule in the NHL. Let's give it to you straight. We got 2 games still going on right now, and both are somewhat in overtime. I'm getting better. I'm getting better. I had a little bit of a scare last night. I was overwhelmed with a lot of things going on. And I pushed myself a little too much, and let's put it this way, it bit me. I got a little overwhelmed, and it caused me to get a little sick, so I took last night off, but I am back, and I missed all of you. So here we go. In overtime, a minute left in overtime, the Blackhawks and Coyotes are tied at 3. About to go into overtime, the Washington Capitals and the Golden Knights of Vegas, they're also tied at 3. So let's go to games that are now final. Edmonton Oilers over the Dallas Stars 5-2. Hyman for Edmonton, 1 goal. Smith for Edmonton, 34 saves. And Bouchard for Edmonton, 2 assists. The Seattle Kraken defeated the Colorado Avalanche by a score of 3-2. Grubauer for Seattle, 25 saves. Lynn for Seattle, 1 goal. And Gord for Seattle, 1 goal. Wow. Let's see. That's it. Some news that occurred. Well, this was somewhat bad news. Famous Detroit Red Wings Zamboni driver was fired after another male employee found him urinating into a drain at Little Caesars Arena. A lawsuit filed in Michigan's Wayne County Circuit Court revealed the driver, 68-year-old Al Zabatka, claims he was discriminated against because of his age and disability, which would be a violation of the state's Elliott Larson Civil Rights Act. The incident occurred on February 2nd when Zabatka returned a Zamboni into its Little Caesars Arena garage after using it to clean the main rink's ice. Zabatka, who claims to have been diagnosed with benign prostatic hypertrophy, which causes frequent urination, then felt an urgent need to go, according to the lawsuit. Because the nearest facility was 60 to 70 feet away, Zabatka urinated in one of the drains that collects the Zamboni's ice runoff. Zabatka was urinating between 2 Zambonis in the garage, which only the all-male ice crew have access to, when another employee spotted him. The 68-year-old met with his supervisor and a human resources rep 2 days later, leading to a week's suspension. Zabatka was then fired on February 17th. Now, before his firing, Zabatka drove the Red Wings Zamboni for over 30 years and grew famous for swirling octopi around during the team's playoff games. His beloved octopi handling led the Red Wings to name their mascot Al the Octopus in his honor. Zabatka and his legal team are seeking compensatory damages in the lawsuit, and I hope they get it. Okay. Boom. Let's get going to some headlines before we, let's go from the hard ice to the easily fun thrills and chills of the NBA. And there's only about 3 games there because guess what? They're in the playoffs. So here we go. Game 2, Nets Celtics. Celtics win by a score of 114 to 107. Game 3, Raptors 76ers. The 76ers take game 3 by a score of 104 to 101. By the way, Celtics lead 2-0 in their series with the Nets. Philadelphia leads 3-0 in their series against the Raptors. Bulls finally score a big win over the defending NBA champion Milwaukee Bucks, 114 to 110 to tie the series at a game apiece. And that is your basketball stuff. Yeah. Yep, I think we have done the main sports cha-cha. Let's get you some headlines right now, and we will get going here. In the National Football League, Another chapter was added to the wildest offseason in NFL history on Wednesday, with 49ers All-Pro receiver Deebo Samuel reportedly requesting a trade out of San Francisco. I want a trade out of San Francisco. Do. The news sent shockwaves through the NFL as one of the league's most electric players could be available with about a week to go before the start of the 2022 NFL Draft. The 49ers surely won't have an issue finding teams that would be interested in acquiring Samuel should San Fran trade him. Last season, 26-year-old wideout recorded 1,405 receiving yards and 6 touchdown receptions, while leading the NFL with an 18.2 yards per catch average. Samuel also ran for 8 scores before scoring 2 more touchdowns during the 49ers' run to the NFC Championship game. A first-round pick in next week's draft would surely be a part of any trade involving Samuel. The 49ers are currently without a first-round pick after they traded up with Miami to select quarterback Trey Lance with the 3rd overall pick in last year's draft. The trade also left the 49ers without a 2023 first-round pick. So there are 5 teams that could be in play to land Samuel if the 49ers do trade him. They're the Kansas City Chiefs, the New York Jets, the Detroit Lions. Really? The Lions? And the New Orleans Saints and Green Bay Packers. So there you go. If he does go to the Detroit Lions, that would be the biggest feather in their cap. But we shall find out a little bit later. The NHL, or another NFL. Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Dwayne Haskins was hit and killed by a dump truck on Interstate 595 near Fort Lauderdale, Florida, earlier this month. He was 24 years old. The events leading up to this tragedy were curious, as many wondered why Haskins would be walking on a highway early in the morning. Well, according to TMZ, more details surfaced in the form of a 911 call that they acquired, made by Haskins' wife, Calabria. She called 911 from Pittsburgh shortly after Haskins told her he ran out of gas and was walking to find some. Calabria said Haskins was going to call her back after he found gas, but he never did. The 911 operator told Calabria not to panic, but that there was a report of an incident on the highway. At the time, they could not confirm if it involved Haskins or not. It was later confirmed to be Haskins, who was pronounced dead on the scene. Athletes, friends, and teammates of Haskins took to social media to mourn the former Ohio State star. At the Buckeye spring game this past weekend, Haskins' initials were marked on players' helmets and painted on the field. There was also a moment of silence before the game and an emotional video tribute shown at halftime. Haskins was in Florida working out with his Steelers teammates before his death. He would have turned 25 on May 3rd. Okay. In more little news, if you're a Cardinals fan who enjoys having Kyler Murray as your quarterback, buckle them seatbelts. As the former number 1 overall pick holds out of Arizona's off-season workouts with reportedly no plans to return absent a new contract. A pair of the quarterback's ex-Cardinal teammates are not surprised by the drama between the two sides. Not only that, but they believe the 24-year-old Murray will eventually play elsewhere, finishing his career with a different team. Appearing on CBS Sports All Things Covered podcast, co-hosted by longtime Cardinal and current Vikings cornerback Patrick Peterson, former Arizona running back Chase Edmonds, now with the Dolphins, suggested the Cardinals have internal issues that likely played a part in Murray's escalating dispute. Edmonds, who spent 3 seasons alongside Murray before signing with Miami this offseason, said, quote, "You can see the frustration ready to boil over," end quote. At the end of 2021, the Cardinals finished 11-6 and went 1-done in the playoffs despite a 10-2 start. Peterson, who spent the first 10 years of his career in Arizona, agreed, suggesting the Cardinals' philosophies are at odds with Murray, whose agent this offseason publicly pressured the team not only to verbally but financially commit to the quarterback. Asked if he foresaw Murray sticking in Arizona long term, Edmonds echoed Peterson. And he just said, I don't think so. So, Gary, there you go on that little level. Man, we're really pumping it up, aren't we? Yes, we is. Okay, let's get one more headline, then we'll go to a little media bite. Okay, on Wednesday night in Houston, Shohei Ohtani's latest appointment with history was a prelude to a dominating performance on the mound against the division rival Astros. The Angels' two-way superstar and the 2021 AL MVP was batting leadoff in Joe Madden's lineup, and in the top of the first, Ohtani and his mates were able to hang 6 runs on Houston starter Jake Odorizzi. Dandelion Fluff says, glad you're feeling better. Take care of yourself. Well, thank you, Dandelion. Love you very much. Take care of yourself and get some sleep, dear. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. Hopefully, I'll see you tomorrow here on the show. Odorizzi lasted just 2/3 of an inning in all. 11 Angel hitters came to the plate in the top of the first, and Ohtani came to the plate twice. He walked and doubled. That in turn meant that Ohtani once again made history. Yay! Okay. Let's make way to some media news, if we got any. I don't think so. Nope, this is more old news here. Okay. Yeah, this is like old news. So, do we have any updatable news? There we go. Okay. Let's see. Tennis broadcaster Pam Shriver discusses the inappropriate relationships she had with her 50-year-old coach when she was 17. Yeah. And the NFL Network has announced their draft coverage plans. On Wednesday, we're now on Thursday, NFL Network announced its coverage plans for the upcoming NFL draft from Vegas, featuring much of its usual array of analysts. Rich Eisen will host all 3 days of coverage, Thursday through Saturday, with the duo of Charles Davis and Daniel Jeremiah joining him on the main set for all of the draft's 7 rounds. During Thursday's coverage, round 1, Eisen, Davis, and Jeremiah are joined on NFL Network's main set by Stanford head coach David Shaw, Joe Klatt, and Kurt Warner will take up residence on a secondary set, with Ian Rappaport working as NFL Network's insider throughout the draft and Melissa Stark handling interviews on Thursday and Friday. On Friday, Klatt replaces Shaw on the main set, with Chris Rose and Peter Schrager taking over on the secondary set. Schrager moves up to the main set on Saturday in place of Klatt, with Rachel Bonetta joining as correspondent. And speaking of the NFL Network's reporters, we got them. They're going to be some places, except nowhere in Detroit. Boo. Judy Battista will be with the Giants of New York. Kayla Burton will be with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jeffrey Chahida will be with the Kansas City Chiefs. Bridget Condon over with the Carolina Panthers. Steve Dales over with the Green Bay Packers. Mike Girardi with the New York Jets. James Palmer, the Eagles. Tom Pelissero and Ian Rappaport in Vegas. Omar Ruiz in New Orleans, Jane Slater in Dallas, Jim Trotter in Houston, Sarah Walsh in Jacksonville, and Cameron Wolfe in Atlanta. We, of course, brought you ESPN's coverage of the draft and who's going to be a part of it on Monday. All right. Ping. Let's see. Okay, and that was your middle of the road little thing we like to call your media outlet. Let's get you some scores and more from a wild day in soccer. Let's go to the Premier League. Arsenal over Chelsea 4-2. Everton and Leicester City tied at 1. Newcastle United over Crystal Palace 1-0. Manchester City over Brighton and Hove Albion 3-0. In Spanish La Liga action, Atletico Madrid and Granada tied at 0. Getafe over Celta Vigo 2-0. Real Madrid over Osasuna 3-1. German DFB Cup action, Leipzig over Union Berlin 2-1. Italia Series A, Salernitana over Udinese 1-0. Italia Coppa Italia. Juventus over Fiorentina 2-0. In total 3-0 in aggregate. Okay, the Australian A-League, Western Sydney over Newcastle 3-2. And that is the score story on that. So we have one more little thing to do, and then we are out of here for the night of the silvery moon. Woo, woo, woo. Woo, woo, woo. Okay, let's let's do this. Okay, in France, Bordeaux over Saint-Étienne tied at 2. Lorient over Metz 1-0. Monaco over Nice 1-0. Reims over Lille 1-0. Clermont over Troyes 1-0. Paris Saint-Germain over Angers 3-0. Brest over Lyon 2-1. Lens over Montpellier 2-0. Marseille over Nantes 3-2. Strasbourg over Rennes 2-1. Let's see. In basketball, in the EuroLeague playoffs in Europe, Olympiacos defeated Monaco 71-54. Real Madrid beat Maccabi Tel Aviv 84-74. In the Euro Cup playoffs, Levola over Venezia 87-66. Bursaspor over Partizan 103-95. Valencia over Hamburg 98-80. Virtus Bologna over Lectabelis 75-67. Gran Canaria over Slask Warclaw 87-60. In the hockey playoffs in Finland, it was Tappara over Turku 2-1. In Sweden, Rogo over Farjestad 3-2. In the Nippon Professional Baseball League in Japan, Chunichi Dragons over the Occult Swallows 4-1. Oric Buffaloes over the Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks 3-2. Rakuten Golden Eagles over the Nippon Ham Fighters 4-2. Cebu Lions over the Chibaladi Marines 3-0. Yokohama Bay Stars over the Hanshin Tigers 1-0. And the Yomiuri Giants over the Hiroshima Carp 5-3. And in South Korea, the Korean baseball organization, Doosan Bears, over the Kia Tigers 4-3. KT Wiswang over the LG Twins 5-3. Lottie Giants over the Hanwha Tigers 7-0. NC Dinos over the Samsung Lions 3-0. And the SSG Landers over the Kaimun Heroes 6-1. In cricket, the Delhi Capitals beat the Punjab Kings by 9 wickets. Well then, what a day for a night. What a night for a day this has totally been. We got to get going ourselves. So we are done for the evening. We want to thank you all for tuning in. And for all of us here on Steve's Sporty Balls, I'm Steve the Baxman Baxley, saying thank you for tuning in, and to remind you to always keep your balls shiny, squeaky, and as always, full and proud. And we'll talk to you tomorrow. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Good night from the Tom O'Neill Studios in Jackson. And we'll see you tomorrow at our usual time, 11:35. See you. Good night, everybody.